Sarah from The Unfilming. Such a pleasure to speak to you. So, first of all, what can people expect from the film? And when you're 7 films into a franchise, how do you go about having some continuity with what's gone before, but also bringing something fresh?
Well, in terms of continuity, we did something a little tricky, which is we went back in time so we didn't have to live with continuity. What we had to do is not contradict what we had done before. So, but you know, when you do this many movies, which is a new experience, it's not often you get to do this. It's about trying to keep it fresh, not especially for the audience, but also for yourself. Because if you're bored, somehow it's going to be boring to the audience. So it's always about pushing new elements into it, new experience, bigger and better.
And one of the things I think really does feel like there's a fresh spin on it is these amazing characters and these amazing actors you got to play them, Anthony and Dominique. There's so much heart, and there's a lot of their personal lives that come into the film as well. Was that really important to you? And seeing these sort of new faces bring those characters to life, what was that like?
Well, we wrote the script with the intention of giving you a new experience with our human cast. They've fulfilled it by tons. You know, it's amazing how great they are, and it's a coincidence they're both from Brooklyn, but by being from Brooklyn, they sort of knew the role. It was really interesting.
And also these incredible visuals that feel consistently tangible all the way through. And when we're going sort of from a more gritty New York City, vibe through to Peru. So how do you achieve that, and how does it help us feel more invested, that they feel that real?
I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on is that the visual effects look great, and our way of doing it is capturing the real world as much as possible. You know, there's a lot of CG movies that everything is CG, and I think it looks fake. So we want to bring the audience on a new journey, and then we owe them, it's sort of our obligation to deliver the visual effects that fulfill that.
And finally, what can people take away from watching the film, do you think?
Well, hopefully they're going to have a lot of fun and laugh a lot and maybe cry a little bit too, which is interesting because it gets very emotional. There's a ton of big-scale action, and there's a nice message in this movie.
And some pretty banging 90s tracks too. It's
awesome. It really gives it a life of its own. I think the first thing is the inventor who came up with this idea that your car actually has a personality. It's sort of a wish fulfillment thing for whether you own a car or not. There's just something great about that idea, and so I think that is the thing that has, in a way, been the secret sauce. And what we do try to do in each film is bring in new characters, go to wild places maybe you're never going to go in your life. So we try to get an experience that each time's a little different.